Hi, my name is Sridhar Pelluru. I am a senior programming writer at Microsoft. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Excel PowerPivot to access Hive on Windows Azure. The main component that enables client applications access Hive data is the Hive ODBC driver. The ODBC driver requires the ODBC server port for the Hadoop cluster on Windows Azure to be open so that the driver can access the Hive data warehouse through this port. In this video, I will open the ODBC port for my Hadoop cluster on Windows Azure, install the Hive ODBC driver on my client computer, create an ODBC DSN for Hive on the client using the Hive ODBC driver, and then configure PowerPivot to use the ODBC DSN to access Hive on Windows Azure. I will start with opening the ODBC server port for my Hadoop cluster on Windows Azure. I sign in to the Hadoop on Azure.com portal. The Open Ports tile indicates that the ODBC server port is closed or locked. I will go ahead and open the port. After I navigate back to the home page, the Open Ports tile now indicates that the ODBC server port is unlocked or open. Now I will install the Hive ODBC driver on my client computer that has Excel 2010 and PowerPivot for Excel 2010. To install the Hive ODBC driver on my client computer, I click Downloads on the Hadoop on Azure portal and download and run the 64-bit MSI file. Installing the Hive ODBC driver is very straightforward. Note that this package also includes Hive add-in for Excel. There is a separate video that shows you how to use Excel Hive add-in to access Hive on Windows Azure. Now I am going to create an ODBC DSN for Hive using the ODBC Data Source Administrator. The ODBC Data Source Administrator is located under Administrative Tools. The local Hive server ODBC DSN was created when I installed the Hadoop for Windows Server on my computer. Now I am going to create an ODBC DSN pointing to my Hadoop cluster on Windows Azure using the Hive ODBC driver. I give a name for the DSN. I get the name of the host from the Hadoop on Azure portal, and I specify the username to connect to the Hadoop cluster and save the DSN. Now I will configure Excel PowerPivot to connect to and access data from Hive on Windows Azure. In the PowerPivot window, I select From Other Sources button on the ribbon. Since I am using an ODBC driver, I pick the OLEDB/ODBC option. I want to build a connection string rather than typing it. I switch to the Provider tab and select Microsoft OLEDB Provider for ODBC drivers. If I want to extract data from the local Hive server, I just need to pick local Hive server from the DSN list and close the window. In this case, I am using the Hive on Windows Azure, so I will need to perform different steps. I pick the Use Connection String option and build the connection string. I pick the Hive on Azure DSN that I had created earlier using the ODBC Data Source Administrator. In the ODBC Hive Setup dialog box, I need to enter the password for the Hadoop user. I also need to select the Allow Saving Password option to save the password in the connection string. And I close the Data Link Properties window. I can either select from a list of tables and views in Hive to import the data, or write a HiveQL query to extract the data from Hive. In this case, I'm going to pick first option. I see the only table that I have in my Hive data warehouse. I can preview and filter the data if I want to. I click Finish to start importing the data from Hive. I close the table import wizard and I see the Hive data in the PowerPivot. To recap, in this video I used the Hive ODBC driver to connect Excel PowerPivot with Hive on Windows Azure. Thank you for watching this video.